big storm here did hit last night, but again, I think it was just a standard thunderstorm. I think it was a lot worse in the south. Today we're doing what I was going to do yesterday. We're going to go to the main big palace, into there, and then there's a few other little sites around that whole area that we're going to go have a look at. Let's get to it. Back to where I was yesterday. Now, the rain, it looks like it's going to come back, but that's alright. It isn't too bad at the moment, so we'll make it survive. We'll make it work. This looks very, very cool. So this is the original one. We'll find out when it was built earlier, but it was built before the one that I went to yesterday. So let's go on in and see what we can learn. We enter through the main gate into this wide open field to yet another gate heading into the actual palace. Free entry if you're dressed up in the traditional clothes. That's interesting. Maybe I will consider it. Okay, there is the entrance. We're going to go on in. I'm trying to remember. I think this is similar timing to the previous one. 1395 was when it was built. Oh, there's even like little ponds. That's cool. Okay, let's head into the main one. Okay, we've now got the main hall. It was rebuilt in 1867. It's not part of the original buildings at the late 14th century. Just the detail on that roof. Everywhere. Kind of wonder what that was used for. Should be the info on the other side. For entertainment of foreign envoys and banquets. And the largest raised platform in Korea. That's very, very cool. A big dog looking down these streets is those Korean historical zombie TV series that I've watched. I'm just getting flashbacks of those. They're absolutely brilliant if you haven't seen any of them. Highly recommended. The scale of this place is starting to show. Definitely didn't seem that big when I first got in, but I'm very, very, very wrong about that. Oh, wow, so cool. So a lot of these buildings are not the original. So originally, yes, it was built in 1395. But then it was all destroyed in the Japanese invasion, which was, what was that? That was around late 16th century. And then again, rebuilt again in the 19th century. So, it's gone through a lot. This one here is actually very new. It was finished in 2015. It's the royal kitchen. This one here is the Queen's quarters. Let's go have a little look-see. Still in the walled-off City Palace area, but we've left the main bit and now there's like more gardens on the northern end of the palace, which is going to be our next stop. So this here we've got a separate palace and pavilion. The palace is on the other side. That was built in 1873 by I believe it was the king trying to distance himself from his father. Also, what I understand is what it said. So this is probably the oldest buildings that are actually original, technically, even though it was only built like like 150 years ago. So this spring itself is actually one of the oldest parts. So it was there since the original building of the first palace, so in 1395. It was used for the fresh water for the whole palace. It's the northern end of the palace complex. Ah, how can you not love this sort of history? Buildings are just so beautifully designed. They look absolutely incredible. Oh, I just love Korean history so much. Okay, we'll go have a look at the palace this old mate built. Ooh, so this particular palace, it was the site of the assassination of one of the queens of the Joseon dynasty. In 1895, they were assassinated by the Japanese, who were trying to, like, they just invaded Manchuria, China, or the northern China, and Korea was getting a bit closer than they would have liked with Russia. So that's what they did. I'm all done here, I think, possibly. Although there is what appears to be a forested area, so maybe I'll head in there. It could be completely wrong. Just can't get enough of the, all of this really just hitting me here. The history is strong here. Just so excited. Still. I don't know why. He's gonna have to explain that to me. I'm sorry. Cultural site is called, again, butchering the name, Bukcheon Hanok Village. Lots of narrow streets, I believe, is the idea. So let's go have a look, have a wander through the area. I'm not quite in the right area. Oh, but it's alright. Always make a thing of exploring small back streets of places. This is it. This is more like it. Assuming that there are still people living in here. That would be really, really annoying considering how popular this particular street has become. Oh, poor buggers. Why there's so many signs saying, please be quiet. Because people actually do live here and don't want to disturb them. Something about these designs of houses that I would absolutely love to live in. Definitely my style of living, I think. Maybe I have a future home. No. No. As tempting as it would be, that's a discussion, that's a thought for later, let's be honest. Just an amazing little village. Just imagine it without the cars. No cars. No glass doors like that. Basically how that last street was. And that's how the city would have been, I don't even know, 500? 200 years ago? Something like that. See, it'd be really good to say climb that mountain. Might have to look into it, because then you get a top-down view of the palace. That would be incredible. I reckon if we look into it, there were definitely complaints. So that's why they've got people. That's why they've got many people with signs wandering around. I don't think these are climbable. There is a few, but I think they're on the south side. Beautiful little village. Still kind of place that I'd love to, you know, live given the chance. Now we're off to the Blue House. Now that's on the opposite side of the palace, so I've got a little bit of a walk to get there. Shouldn't take me too long. Or novel. Next stop is the Blue Palace. Now this is the current live-in palace for President of Korea. Hence named by the blue tiles on the roof, funnily enough. I'm the main building mission. Oh, that looks really cool. We'll get in. Now I believe this isn't where he's actually living at the moment. I think there's another building somewhere in those forests where he's actually living. Where they're actually living, I'm not 100% sure. That's beautiful though. As of 2022 they relocated to another place, Yongsan. Couldn't tell you what that is. But it's now fully open to the public, this one. Bit for the cabinet meetings. Another one in the opposite wing. This is for the First Lady. It's a bit of a mix. The reception room is sort of a Western style, but then the office here is very much more Korean. Wow. Bloody incredible main building. Number of tiles, out of random fact, 150,000 blue tiles on the roof. Now, the actual president's living quarters would be just down this path here. This is beautiful. I think the blue tiles are counted up here as well, but wow. So I just love the colour of the wood in contrast with the blue. It just works bloody perfectly. Oh, that's amazing. I love a combination of the design and the colours. It's amazing. Stop 3 done. There's a few more buildings in the grounds, but I'm slowly running out of time, so I've got one more place that I want to get to. I think it's about a 2-kilometre, half an hour walk from here. Luckily it is heading in the direction of where I'm staying, and that'll be the last stop for today. Doing well, I'm kicking along. It's not too bad today. If it was as hot as it was yesterday, then I might have a few issues, but for the time being, we're kicking along amazingly. Stop of the day. It's recommended to me. The Seodaemun. So Seodaemun prison. Kind of curious. Let's go check it out. So built in 1908 by the Japanese imperialists that imprisoned the Korean independence movement, I believe. It's been running for a good 80 years until it closed down in 1987. It's very, very plain. Lots of empty spaces. We'll check out each building one by one. These are all prison cards. One's interred here. Wow. Patriots were strong. They fought through the pain. Oh. Alrighty, now this way. This is the main prison block. Wow. Sort of 3 of them, all fanned out. Wow. This movement was strong. There were, that whole area there was all about basically every corner of the world. You had Latin America, it's Australia, Germany was a big one, all promoting the Korean independence, which they finally achieved in 1945. Oh. The patient cell building. Ooh. E. All of the bullet holes here were from North Korean soldiers during the Korean War. Whoa. Alrighty, there's a storm coming. I think I'll check out that last building over there. And then, day 2 in Seoul. Not much more to report. 2 days in Korea. It's already bloody brilliant. Only... Oh, still got a few more days here. I need to slow myself down a little bit, I think. But we're done today. Tomorrow, I think tomorrow's going to be an easy day. I've been very hectic the last 2 days. So we'll take it a bit slightly easy tomorrow. And the day after, we've got an exciting one, I think.